If you or someone you know is sick, have tried to get help and is not feeling any better, then call or visit the Health and Wellness Center, where we will screen your entire body and find your problem and treat you so that your body will overcome your illness. So visit us today, 72 Queen Street, Kitty, or call us at 231-6477 for further information.
Alrighty. Very good evening to all of you, my friends and well-wishers, family members, those of you who are expecting us on a Thursday afternoon. Welcome to our program once again. And we want to make you be aware that we are on YouTube, so you can actually sign on to our program on YouTube Live. And when you do that, you can press your like button and your subscribe button, and it will be notified. Once we're on the air, you will be notified. So you can tune in and tell your friends and your family members and those who are interested in learning about their health that they can tune in now on YouTube and just put Safe TV, Safe Television Guyana on there. And when you get on there, you press the like button and the subscribe, and then you'll be made aware of our program. Dr. Richard, good afternoon and welcome once again.
Good afternoon, Dr. Joe, and good afternoon to everyone. Thank you for the invite. Thursday came real quick. The time flew.
I didn't get you.
Thursday came real quick. The time flew.
I don't know. I don't understand really what is happening with the days and the time anymore, because it seems like the days are getting shorter and shorter, and the weeks are becoming like days.
Right. It
seems like we were on here just the other day,
Yeah.
And then it's so hot. It's hot everywhere.
But it's getting cool here.
It's getting cool in the evening or in the day.
All morning, all day.
But that's a very good thing. I think you're gonna have a serious winter.
Probably. It's starting early.
I think so. I think it's gonna be really cold this winter.
Yeah.
Anyhow, welcome to our program once again. And last Thursday we were talking about suicide and all of the things that go along with that, aspects of suicide, and what can be done, and what should be done, and what all the things that we can think of to try to put in the minds of those who contemplate that act, that it is not necessary. It really shouldn't happen. You didn't make yourself, as you said last week, you didn't make yourself, and you shouldn't take yourself,
That's right.
You shouldn't take your life.
Shouldn't take life,
We want to continue with that subject. And for those who are watching, welcome once again. We've got people watching all over the place.
Nice.
The numbers don't show, but most persons see it on television. Some persons see it on YouTube. And like I said, just press the like button and the subscribe button and forward it to your friends and let them tune in and so on. Now, something crossed my mind, Dr. Richard, as I was contemplating our dialogue today, that an investigation should be done by family members as to the ancestral side, what really happened in the past. Was suicide a factor in previous family members? Was it something that happened? Was it something that is in the family? It crossed my mind today that it should be examined, that ancestral situations could be a factor in.
Could be.
Yeah, I was just advertised. I was just notified that our channel name is Health and Healing. Health and Healing with Dr. Joseph Haynes. That is what you do on YouTube. Health and Healing with Dr. Joseph Haynes. You go there and then you'll find the channel, and I think it's on the screen there, or our operator Dale is going to put it on there so you can tune in and tell your friends and so on. But as I was saying, I believe that it is important to look back at what happened in the past with the family, you know? Is it something that occurred? Is it something that was attempted? Because suicide is really an issue that has to do with many factors.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know if you want to make a comment on that.
Yeah, I mean, mental health is very, very, it's very important, and it has a lot to do with a lot of things we find out today. Even healing, if your mind is not right, it affects your body. I mean, everything in the brain is important. I mean, the brain is what controls you. Your nervous system and the brain and everything else. And so it's important that your mind, be right. It's very, very important because it affects everything about you. Everything about you.
And today we have so many factors that are influencing people's minds, especially the youths. So many things that are influencing the mind.
Yeah.
And it is so critical that persons understand that the brain, the mind, the factors that causes you to go one way or another has to be processed in the brain.
That's right.
If you're gonna get well with your sicknesses, then you need to program your brain.
Yeah.
So that you can send that signal to your body system.
That's right.
To begin the process of healing.
Yeah.
I don't think lots of people don't connect the brain with what happens to their bodies.
Yeah, I mean, the creator of us all, it made a statement that says, as a man thinketh in his heart,
so is he.
So is he.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it goes to everything that we do. Everything. If you think you have a problem, you got a problem.
If you don't have one existing, you're going to get one.
Yeah.
Because what you think of, you will manifest it.
Manifest, exactly.
The mind think it.
Yeah.
So you become.
Yeah.
If you don't believe that you can get well,
you're not going to get well.
You're not going to get well.
It's true.
I don't care what you take, what you drink. If you don't believe that you can get well, chances are you're not going to get well. If you believe that the only way out is to end your life, trust me, you will find a way to do it.
That's right. And yeah.
It's not what you need to be thinking.
That's right. It's not. And that, that got me thinking, as you just mentioned it, now you have a problem, your mind is not right. How can the family members or anybody around you, what are some of the signs that they can look at and say, hey, something is not right about this thing, And then looking at the prevention thing, somebody talking about, as a man thinking in his heart, so is he. You're talking about this thing all the time, talking about dying and death.
Yeah.
And people killing themselves and wanting to kill yourself. You can listen to the language. You can listen to what a person is saying, how they're, what are they focusing on, They're talking about feelings and empty and hopelessness and all these different things and having no reason to live, if you just listening to them, you might not even know the person, but if you just in an area and you hear somebody talking all of that stuff, in your mind, immediately something is not right. Right? About that person, People talking words. These are like trigger words, like I'm trapped. I'm trapped in this situation. I'm feeling like there's no solution to this problem. Or you're saying things like, this is unbearable what I'm experiencing. You understand? You hear those words, right?
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
People using the talking, or I'm done with that family member. I ain't done with all of them. I ain't gonna talk to nobody.
Yeah.
You're withdrawing. See,
Yeah.
withdrawing, and these are things. Even if somebody withdraw from the friend and the family, something is not right. And people. The other thing is too that really create a problem. Not a problem, but cause me to really worry about a person is when they're trying to put all the affairs in order. They're trying to do things, that that you talk to them about the will before and said, man, I ain't gonna die, but then now they're talking about getting the will together. What am I gonna do about this? What am I gonna do about that? Or when you see them, they tell you, hey man, goodbye, man. What do you mean goodbye? Well, I'm going to see you tomorrow. I'm going to see, these are trigger words.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm telling you this for a reason, because I have a story to tell you, and, or people, you know them, but they were very careful, and all of a sudden become very lax, and they're taking a lot of risk, in everything, the way they drive. Maybe you drive with them, they're driving fast and they're taking risks and things like that.
Reckless driving.
Exactly.
They're looking for a way out.
Looking for a way out. And you don't want to be around a person like that, but you don't want them to hurt themselves either.
Yeah, because in hurting themselves, they may hurt others.
Yeah. I mean, and they don't realize the repercussions. Many a times when you have a problem, and it doesn't matter how, old you may be, even little kids think they have problems, and they get attitudes and they get dispositions when they can't have their way, right? Somehow, nobody trained them to do that, but you can see it. I mean, at the early age, and they look and see how the parents or adults respond, and they respond in kind. But a lot of times, we see these things, and we just think we don't take it serious. Some of us,
Yeah.
and we just blow it off, or you laugh it off, But I remember this situation, and this was a church brother, somebody who believed in the Lord and knew everything that we're saying today. You don't give life. God is the one that gives life, and He can take it. It's a sin really to take your own life. But he, I had not seen him for many years, and I don't know. I was not there, and I don't know if I would have made a difference even if I was there. But the people who he was with relate a story to me that on the weekend he was with people, was helping people and things like that, and talking to them, and they found out that he went and bought a gun. Like, what are you going to do with a gun? Somebody who's talking about nonviolence and don't like guns, and then let him go and buy a gun. What are you buying a gun for? Anyway, he was with them, and he was giving people things like gifts, things that he liked. He was giving to people, I think somebody told him one time he was wearing a shoe or boots or something. I think to wear the same size. Man, I like that boots, man. You can give me that boots? And the guy, no. At the time he said, no, man, this is mine. I like it. Hey, you like it? Yeah. Unbeknownst to the person, that very weekend, he went and gave the person the boots. The shoe, right? A shoe. And things like that. So this was like on a Sunday. The Monday morning, everybody got news that, he took his life.
Shot himself.
Yeah. Shot himself.
He was preparing to exit.
Yeah.
But
So,
nobody really realized it.
Nobody picked up. Well, people were,
Suspicious.
they were little glitches of, things, but in your mind, this person was very firm in his beliefs, was very solid, and there was no question that he would even attempt to do something like that. But I'm saying that the person who he told, or I think he told the persons they were wondering why it is that you get a firearm. I mean, for what? You don't really believe in that, you know. And I mean, not that there's anything wrong with a firearm. I mean, people get it all the time, but a person who just, if you knew, you know, that they didn't have a like for certain things, and then all of a sudden that flipped, that to some of the individuals were like, I was wondering why it is what he did. You understand?
It's always 20/20 vision.
Yeah.
When you look back.
When you look back.
See clearly.
And I was shocked because this was somebody who really was in the church, was very solid in what they believed in, and that goes to say that you don't know what people have in their hearts and in their mind, what's affecting them. Most people don't want others to know, what's going on in their lives. It could be because they're shameful. Some people are, or people don't want other people to know anything about them.
Mm-hmm. Pride gets in the way.
Yeah, but then when you do things like that, everybody's going to know. And the thing is, people have to. I'm saying, we should be. If you need help, get help. Get help. Talk to somebody. Say something to somebody.
You know what? There's a very deep side of all of this that I want to talk about. I want to be very careful with how I say it because some people will become offended. Maybe, hopefully not. Hope they understand. But in this life, even in the church, even people who are in the church, they have factors that control their minds. Spiritual factors. It's not just everything is not all okay. There's good and evil. And the evil, in each of us, there's a spirit. Each of us that are walking this earth, there's a spirit in us. And that spirit is very, you can either develop that spirit to become a strong one, or you can allow it to become a weak spirit. Depending on who you affiliate with, what you expose yourself to, all of those factors that we talk about, most of them already. And if you allow that spirit to be controlled by the evil spirit, by the evil one, then chances are you're going to be able to go wherever he wants, that evil spirit wants you to end up. Because now it's like a drone. That drone doesn't fly on its own unless you program it. That drone is controlled by a device, by someone with a device that has it doing what it's doing. That drone doesn't have a mind of its own. You have to program it. You have to control it. And unlike the drone, that spirit in you, if it is not directed in the right way, down the right path, you're going to end up doing things that the evil spirit wants you to do. Yeah, see, it's a little deep because some people don't understand the spiritual side of things.
Yeah.
So we have to be careful how we allow ourselves to be influenced. Even in the church, I was saying it the other day. Even in the church, there are people who sit in the pews that are possessed by evil, but you don't know. They're there sometimes because they're looking for help. They're looking to have that spirit be driven out of them, but because it is so strong in them, it is being resistant to the help that can be offered. You know for a fact that there are people who go to church and then there's manifestation that occurs, and they have to be prayed for, or that demon has to be exorcised out of them. But the question is, when the demon comes out of them, where does it go? Where does it go? Because it's a spirit. You see, and if you are a weak vessel, if you are a weaker vessel, chances are you could become that vessel that accepts or receives that evil. And then it works in you again. It begins to manifest itself in you. So we have to be so careful with with the spirit in us, what we affiliate with, who we talk to, what we associate with, what we look at, what we, what we read.
True.
Because if your spirit is weak, then you could become a victim of all sorts of things.
Yeah. I concur. I mean, I like to look at it this way, and it's basically the same. I like to look at how we were created. God created us from the dust of the ground, right? And kneel down over us, and blew within our nostrils the breath of life, and we became a living soul.
A living soul.
We are living souls.
That is so important to understand. We become a living soul. I mean, we're not preaching today, but if you understand what the soul is, and you will understand what we're talking about. Because
and the combination for a living soul is you got to go back at how we were created. Just the same way we go and we look at the mechanisms for diseases, we got to go back and look at the mechanism of how God placed us and created us. It's the soul, the living soul. To go back, is the body plus the breath equals a living soul, right? And that living soul, now that you have life, the life that was given to you by the life giver, which is the creator, that soul was aligned with that creator, which is good. But because of evil, now there are two, you mentioned earlier, demons. We know from the Bible's biblically looking at things that evil is in the world.
Oh yes, all over the world.
And these evil is Lucifer, a third of the angels were kicked out of heaven because it was war in heaven. When you look at the book of Revelation, it tells you how it came. That evil, it was war in heaven. Michael and his angels, get rid of the dragon. The dragon was the devil and his angels. And those angels are on this earth.
Some people don't understand that.
Yeah. And that's those angels are what we refer to as demons. They are demons. I mean, if you look at in the gospel, it showed you when the man who was possessed by the devils, the legion. And, remember there was a young man in the gospel. We talking about the Bible, but we're talking about how we were created anyway. And he was throwing himself in the fire and doing all sorts of things. And then when the disciples came and Christ came and they put some, I think it was either Peter or Paul, one of them. It was Christ. I think it was Christ. He got rid of the legion, which is the demons. They knew who he was. They called him by name, and they said it was not their time yet. And they asked to go into the pigs.
Yeah.
Right? But strategically, what they were thinking, because where they were in the gatherings, they were, that's where they had animals. They had the pigs there, and that's what they did. They were pig herders, and these legions went into the pig, and the pigs ran like they lost their mind into the sea and drowned themselves. But these demons did that purposely so that the people can, be angry with Christ. But these demons are fallen angels. And now when we who are living souls, if we are aligned our will and our life, because we have a will, we can do whatever we choose to do. We can follow the Lord or we can follow the devil and his angels. If you choose to follow the Lord, you are not that you're protected, but he makes sure and your life is in line with his will. You do things that are in obedience to his will. But you follow the adversary, the devil and his angels, then it's evident by their fruits you should know them. You do things that are not good, evil things. And
like suicide, that's one of them.
Yeah, that's evil. And it is very difficult to say that because it hurts, but we are not supposed to do stuff like that, right? And if you can actually say, what spirit is in that person? Was it the spirit of the Lord or the spirit of demons?
Is it good or is it evil?
Yeah, it's good or evil. But we cannot take the human component out of it. The person who was having that problem with those with those demons or whatever they may be, that's what they are. They're demons. The trauma that they're experiencing. I mean, it's a real living live person with a heart, with a mind, and everything else. They themselves they're not in their right mind. They're not in their right mind. Many a times because they will not do stuff like that. So we cannot take that out of the equation. And God is a forgiving God, and He knows exactly what sufferings they went through and what they were experiencing. But I'm saying this to say that what you were saying is very, very true. That if we place our lives, put ourselves out there to be able to be influenced by all of these things that are negative. I mean, what you're listening to, what you're eating, the lifestyle that you're taking, that you're doing, all that has an influence on your persona. All that affects your soul. All that affects your heart, your mind, your whole body. And you end up doing things that you should not do. You're not in control. Those demons, like you said, the remote control. He's in control. The adversary is in control.
Once you allow yourself to become a victim of him or of that evil side, then you're in remote control by that evil person, that evil being.
Right, and you could be
he's controlling what you do, and
right.
And this is the reason. This is the reason why I stress that it is important to teach your children, even yourself as an adult. Try to find the purpose of your life. Try to find out why you're here. Because if you don't, then you're exposed.
That's right.
If you're not doing what you're here to do, you're exposed. You become a vessel now that can be controlled by any spirit, good or evil.
Yeah.
Because you really haven't found out your purpose in life.
Yeah.
And so many people are lost because they have not found their purpose in life. And many parents are just driving their children to do what they want them to do. You have to go to church. You have to become an engineer. You have to become a pilot. You have to, but is it the reason why the child is here? Is it what you are asking them to do, what they're here to do? You see? Yeah. And that is something that needs to be seriously looked at by parents, by all of us, by humans.
Yeah. I am guilty of that too, because you have aspirations for your kid, and you don't want them just to stay home and do nothing, or grow up and not become, or to use the gifts and the talents that you see that they're possessed, so you encourage them. But there's a way to do it. I mean, you cannot, pry and push.
You cannot handle them. You cannot drive them. Yeah. You have to somehow guide them.
Yeah, you have to guide them.
Guide them so that they could accept, number one, that this feels like what I should be doing.
Yeah.
Guide them down the path so that they will accept themselves. That I feel that this is why I'm here. Yeah. I want to become this, or I want to do that, and it is so important. It is so important. I tested that out with my children.
Yeah.
I spoke about it so many times. I tested that factor with my children, and they all have become what they said they want to become at an early age, and before 4 years old. You see, who hasn't become is on the path of becoming. So it is so important to stop that vessel from going down the wrong path, to help them to realize their purpose in life.
Yeah. Because
like I said before, if you don't have a reason to want to live, you're going to surely find a reason to want to die.
Yeah. And the real person, the real reason for all of us to be alive, God created us for worship, That's the whole reason for us to be that He created us to worship Him. Now, there's another guy who needs worship too. He wants worship. It is always a counterfeit, and whomever you worship, you know, and that is there's some results to whomever you place the importance in your life, or as the center of your life. God, Christ's ways, He's leading you to life, and the other guy is leading you to death. And God created us all. He created us with talents and gifts.
Every one of us.
You're right, every one of us. And as a parent, when you see that child as a little child, you can see the tendencies where they lean into, the things that they're doing.
If you are tuned into that child.
Yeah.
If your spirit is aligned with the spirit of the child.
Supposed to be, yeah. You're supposed to be a parent like that. Supposed to be able to, look at your child. As a matter of fact, talking about teaching, you're the first teacher of that of the children, and you could see the temperament of the child. Every child is not the same. Some kids have a desire to do other things, and you can see it. You can see it, and you encourage them to do the right things. We know some parents encourage them to do the wrong things.
Oh yes.
Some families.
That's a fact because
because
we used to have a situation happening where parents would be home taking care of things, at home. Children are out. They don't know where the children are.
Mm-hmm.
But all of a sudden, the children shows up with all sorts of things.
Yes.
With maybe different things, and you don't question the child.
Yeah.
But you're not working anywhere. Where did you get these things from?
That's right.
You're not focused. You're not tuned into the child's behavior.
Mm-hmm.
You're not. We don't have this sort of thing happening in our house. Where did you learn that from?
Yeah.
Where did you pick that up from? Your parents don't use vulgar language in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Where did you learn that?
That's right.
Somehow we have to intercept. As soon as we realize the changes, we have to intercept the behaviors and try very hard to see if it's possible to locate where that source is and correct it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just like we do with medicine, just like we taught to do.
Yeah.
We don't just treat if you have a headache and you come to us with a headache. We're not going to say, well, let's take care of the headache.
We
may say, let's take care of the headache to ease you of the pain or the discomfort. But we want to get deeper to see what is causing your headache.
Right. What's causing causing this thing? Why are you getting this problem? And that's the thing with parenting. I mean, you see certain things you want to know. Like, for example, your example just happened just a few days ago. We have some kids, the grandkids, and they were one of the kids was drawing something, and he likes to draw. Kids like to draw.
I normally say, Dr. Richard, excuse me, I normally say children. I don't say kids.
Yeah, children.
I try not to say kids.
The kids are like goat, right? Goat.
Yeah.
Yeah. The children, they're very, they like to create a lot of things. They usually draw and things like that. So this child drew some figures, and then he wrote Demon Slayer.
Really?
Yeah. And my wife was like, well, she called me and says, well, look what he wrote. Why? I asked him, I said, why? Do you know what a demon is? Didn't know what a demon is. I asked him, do you know what slaying means? Not really. So I told him. I had to tell him, I said, demons, you cannot kill a demon. Okay? Demons are fallen angels, and you cannot kill them. Only God can kill them. The lake of fire is made for them, for the devil and his angels, and that's the only way they're going to let Christ had to kill them. And we find out that there's a game called Demon Slayers.
Wow.
So these kids are influenced very early. Children, I said kids again, right? They're influenced very, very early. very, very early with, you know, demonic things.
You have to be careful of what they look at.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
And
we,
they don't
we
look
had a
at that
situation with one of our boys too. He used to get these cards.
Oh, Pokemon.
Yeah,
Yeah, those things.
yeah. And I noticed that, you know, there was a different kind of behavior coming out of him.
Right.
And I said, now, what is going on with you? What's happening? Where are you getting this from? And one day we saw the cards.
Mm-hmm.
And we educated him about the cards and took them away.
Yeah.
He never got them back.
Yeah.
But later he realized that those cards were not really what he should have been looking at.
No, they're demonic.
Those are evil. Those are the distracting factors that program your brain.
Yeah, early. The children.
Early in your life.
And they have cartoons that do the same thing too.
Cartoons, yes.
And there are certain things that, you know, that glorify suicide and all these different things, games and shows, you know.
You know what I did when that happened? I remember exactly. I asked him again, what do you want to become when you grow up? He said, I want to be a pilot.
Mm-hmm.
And I went out and I bought one of those, what we call them, one of the
simulators?
Simulators, yeah.
Yeah.
I bought him a simulator, and when I started to help him with understanding the simulator,
mm-hmm.
when he took that over, the cards went away. He never even thought of the cards.
And see what you did, you actually modified.
Put him back on the path that he wants to go on.
You modify his desire and his, you know.
You see, and that is what needs to happen. That is what parents need to do. Mm-hmm. Don't chastise the child and punish them. And I mean, we educated him about what those cards meant based on what we knew. And then, you know, his mom took them away and put them away somewhere. I think we still have them hidden someplace.
Yeah, I would throw them out, man.
If I find them, I'd throw them out. But what he did, we replaced that activity with what he wanted to become.
Mm-hmm.
I bought the simulator, and I had to actually get him off the simulator at night.
Yeah, he has no interest in the other things.
Because he became so possessed by what he wants to become.
Right.
That it overwhelmed him, and he, you know, I mean, he's a brilliant kid. He was one of those boys that didn't have to study for his exam.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he would just look at things and then go to the exam and just take it, and that's it. He's done, passed it, that's it, you know.
He got good memory.
Yes, he has a very good memory. He has a memory like an elephant.
And,
so,
you know,
the point I want to make here is that it is so important that as a parent, that you continue to try to guide those children along the path that they choose that they want to become. Because they know what they want to become. They came with that in their spirit. It's in them. We all came here with a gift, with a talent, all of us.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is that many of us are never able to get that talent moving in our lives.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I see it every day in Guyana. There are many children who can become Olympians, but they don't have the facilities in place. You know, and the parents are not taking them down the path because there are no facilities. You know, we have children there who can become soccer stars. As a matter of fact, you know, only today, Dr. Richard, this young guy who we helped to go on a sponsorship to the US just a couple of weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Only today he sent me a video where he's actually playing already.
Wow.
Yes, he's playing. I have the video he sent it to me today. So I was responding to him to say, which one is you? You know, which one of these people are you? And like he heard me, and he said the fastest one. He said, I am the fastest one on the right wing. And sure enough, this guy is so quick. You think somebody put fast forward on him. You know, he came from a distance, and he just came and just overtook the guy and got the ball, and you know, it's amazing. So I know, and he's Guyanese. He just went over there just a few weeks ago.
Wow. So how did he get to that level? What did you do to help him to?
Well, I think what happened is that there was some coach that came.
Mm.
Some, they have people who go around the world looking for talent.
Right.
And I think somebody saw him play and spoke with him and informed him that they think that they have a place for him out of Guyana.
Mm-hmm.
I got to get the whole story from him.
Yeah.
But he was admitted. He took some exams for the institution. It's a university. It's a college.
Yeah.
He took the exams. He passed the exams, and they sponsored him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to really say what happened with the sponsorship in Guyana, because the support that he should have gotten from the facilities or the associations that should have supported him never did.
Yeah. It is sad that
I want to continue making this point. Many times that is where the talent is suppressed.
Mm-hmm.
Because the child or the youth or the person never gets the opportunity to go and make that talent manifest in his life.
Mm-hmm.
But because I know what I know, I said, you know what? He came to me, and I don't know why he came, but I used to be president of the Upper Delmar Football Association. So he knew that. And I love football. I used to play football.
Right.
I still love the game. So he came to me and he said, Doc, I have this opportunity to go abroad and play football, but I'm not getting sponsorship.
Oh, wow.
I'm not getting they sponsored me almost completely, but he has to find some money to do certain things.
Oh, okay.
So I said to him, listen, just let me know what the amount is, and we will find a way to get you there.
Mm-hmm.
And I did my part. A few people helped him along the way. And in the end, he came to me, he says, Doc, I am nearly there, but I need you to help me some more.
Mm-hmm.
And I did it. Because I know what can happen if he didn't get that opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
He would be another victim of what we're talking about today.
Yeah.
But I was determined that he wouldn't become a victim of that.
No.
So he's out there now. He's out in the States.
And he's doing his part now.
New York, and this guy is doing exceedingly well already, and it's only weeks.
Wow.
Only weeks.
That's encouraging for anybody who's young who's listening.
I'm telling you, this guy, let me tell you something. We have in Guyana boxers who can be Olympians, who can be world champions.
Mm-hmm.
We have athletes who can run better than Usain Bolt.
Really?
We have educators who can teach children like they never taught before. But they are not given the opportunity to be able to expound on those skills and abilities that they have.
Yeah.
And we need to somehow create a situation where they can come to us. They can go to a body and we can ensure that is what really needs to happen. And we need to make sure that it happens for them.
Yeah.
When we do that, Dr. Richard, if we can create something like that, we will stop suicides. We will help children to become what they need to become in this life.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be able to have them utilize their abilities and talents and skills.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Many persons are denied their ability to perform, to do what they need to do in this world because of circumstances.
Yeah.
So what needs to happen, even with the situation we're talking about suicide, we need to have a structure that's set up, organization that's established with a few phone numbers, and with the right people at the helm who can address them when they call. And say to these people, whoever they are, if it's suicide or whatever, just come, tell us where you are. We're going to reach you there.
Mm-hmm.
I saw just this morning on the news. Someone was trying to commit suicide on a bridge.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, in the U.S.
Oh, in the U.S. Yeah, so, it's a problem here too.
And a movie star.
Everywhere.
A movie star was just happened to be nearby and saw the person on the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that on news this morning, and he was able to rescue that person. They were over the rail waiting to jump.
Yeah.
And I don't know what he said to them, what he did, but he convinced them to come back over the bridge, and he helped them to come back over that rail,
Mm-hmm.
and that person was saved.
Yeah.
You know?
Sometimes, people, they have problems, situations, and in their eyes that it's so overwhelming that there's nowhere. But sometimes it's not really much of anything. Just need encouragement.
Yeah.
You need opportunities to be able to vent. Sometimes people don't get anybody to listen to them. Really, somebody stopped this morning and paid him attention and probably spoke to him and give him a listening ear. A lot of times that just doing that very simple thing with people around us makes a big difference. And you have to genuinely be concerned and care about what it is. There are so many situations in families. I mean, a family with 3 or 4 kids, one of them having
Children.
Yeah, I said kids. 3 or 4 children. One of them may be having an issue, and they're trying to get the attention of the dad, but dad is busy doing something. He's either busy getting his workout for the day or on the phone. Mom is cooking, don't have time to listen or anything. The other siblings there, everybody's with the iPad or doing something, nobody's there to lend them an ear, And the next thing they know is that they succumb to and they're telling them, I have something important I want to talk to you about. Could I get you to listen to what I could I get your attention? And nobody's giving them attention. And,
Yes.
And that's very, very, very important. I mean, that's the problem. Everybody's all concerned about everybody's reality. They're concerned about their own situation, that nobody's really spending time to lend a listening ear to people. It's just sometimes you just got, just slow down and just listen. If you see somebody want to talk, and there are many people in situations that we think that they're okay. And it's not so much about money. Even people who are very wealthy are having problems like that.
Oh, yes.
I'm thinking about Robin Williams. I mean, he was famous, well-known, rich, but he had a substance abuse problem, and that usually tells the tale about when you start using substances, alcohol. This doesn't matter what it is that you have a situation that you're concealing or something is going on in your life. You need help. That's another cry for help.
And he's just one.
He's just one, and there are many. I mean, I can go through the list.
Mm-hmm.
So it's an opportunity, like you said, for that young man. It's very, very good, especially for the youth. If they have resources that can be, and there are avenues that they can go and at least get help, and then be able to really focus on their talents, it makes a big, big difference. Young people, just get them, refocus them and align them like you did with that young man, so that their energy and their motivation and their purpose is realized.
Yes.
It makes a big, big difference.
Makes a big difference when you find your purpose.
Yeah.
When you find your purpose, all the doors open.
Yeah.
And it brings you to another point. Looking at the situation I saw in the news this morning, in many instances, the Spirit guides you there.
Mm-hmm.
Not the evil one, the good one.
Yeah.
Will guide you to the point where you can rescue that person, or where you could, where you can. It's funny. I really never knew the guy that well. I just saw him, and I had a couple of instances with him, and for some reason there was a bond that existed.
Mm-hmm.
And if something bothered him, he would call me, and say, Doc, I got this situation, can you help me through it?
Mm-hmm.
And I never felt like I need to say no to him.
Mm-hmm.
And it just grew, it just grew. So I think what we need to also realize is that because this is a spiritual world, if we can only sometimes open our minds.
Yeah. And spend some time, just listen,
Just listen.
yeah.
Just listen to the silent
Pay
voice
attention and
that
listen.
speaks to you.
Yeah.
If we can only open our minds.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
It is such an amazing, what do you think of it? Such an, when I want to go back to the situation with the pigs.
Oh, yeah.
There are many persons who believe that when those pigs went into that water and drowned, that the spirits drowned it with them.
No.
There are many persons who believe that.
They're not die. They don't die that way.
Spirits don't die.
Yeah, they don't die that way.
They don't die. They came out of the pigs and they were roaming looking for other vessels to go into.
And if you make yourself available, they'll come into you.
There you go.
And
so you don't want to think evil thoughts.
Yeah.
You don't want to read evil books.
Yeah.
You don't want to look at evil movies. You don't want to allow your mind to be influenced by evil, because evil is out there looking for vessels to go into.
And they're in lots of vessels.
Oh, there's lots of evil and lots of empty vessels.
Yeah, they're empty. They're filled now with evil spirit. They're in the church. They're in every place. There are people like that, and in every place there are people that the Lord have too. So it's a spiritual warfare, and as much as we are experiencing the physical manifestations of the spiritual warfare, and there's a physical manifestations of it, the disease component of it, the pathology component of it, and the medical portion of it, it's present in that arena also.
Oh yes.
Some people have diseases that are it's more evil manifestations that are creating that situation.
And we have a way of feeling it when they come.
Yeah.
When people come to the clinic with evil, I know.
Yeah.
I know when they come with it. And we direct them. Hopefully, we direct them to a path where they could be healed of that evil, because many times the evil spirit that is in them will not allow them to be healed or to overcome the sickness that they have.
Yeah.
But they don't understand that. Some people don't understand that. We only have about 4 minutes, Dr. Richard.
Oh, wow.
Believe it or not, 1 hour is already gone.
Yeah, we just started.
Pretty much.
But it's true, and that's why when people come, we sort of deal in a holistic way.
We have to
of helping them, and then just to let them know who is in charge, and who is in charge of the healing is the Lord, is not us. So
we're just the vessels that are used to bring about the necessary tools that can help you to overcome your illnesses.
And
the healing has to occur from within you.
Yeah.
And if you're not open, if your vessels are closed, then chances are you're not going to be healed.
Yeah.
Many persons who don't understand that factor. True. And there are foods that people are eating that are encouraging the evil in them, and they don't realize it.
Yeah. There are things that you're told not to eat, and they're still eating it. So, I mean, the person who created us give us everything. He told us what we should follow and what we should eat. And if disobedience is the whole thing, man.
Oh yes.
We want to disobey. We want to have our own way. But and adults and youth, we want to have what we want to have, and we have to as older people and elderly, and now we the old people. Before the other people were the old people. Now we become the old people. Those people are
we become the elderly.
We have to have some restraint, and just don't get upset with people. Just listen, and then you help gradually. You help them and give them the other side of the story. They come with one side, and you get on the other side of the story, and just help them and guide them. Prayerfully. And to help them to have overcome whatever sickness in the body and in the mind.
Give them encouragement.
Yeah, encourage.
Anyhow,
Yep.
I just want to say to the folks who are listening to us that there is help, and you can call us at 231-6477. The number and information is on the screen. You can also email us at healthandwellnesscenter.com, healthandwellnesscentergy.com. You can email us, and if you have concerns about your health, about your mental state, if you're thinking about going down the wrong road or the wrong path, you can call us. Leave your name and number, and we'll get back to you and address you. If you have an illness that you think you need to get beyond just the symptoms, then we're there to guide you as to why you're experiencing those symptoms, and also guide you towards the path of healing. So I know the time is up, Dr. Richard. I want to thank you for being on the program again, and we're going to be on next Thursday again, and we'll talk some more about all sorts of things that can help us overcome whatever sicknesses they have, be it physical illnesses or spiritual illnesses. So on behalf of the Health and Wellness Center and Dr. Richard, myself, I want to thank you all for listening, for tuning in. Thank the operators and the owners of the television station, and all of those, Oliver, and all of those folks who are there at the clinic, Esther Ann, Joy, for all of those folks who are with us in this, Dr. Tatiana, in this journey of helping people to get better. I want to thank you all for at least tuning in. And until we meet again, God bless you. Have a wonderful weekend and evening, and so long.
So long. Yeah.
If you or someone you know is sick, have tried to get help and is not feeling any better, then call or visit the Health and Wellness Center, where we will screen your entire body and find your problem and treat you so that your body will overcome your illness. So visit us today at 72 Queen Street, Kitty, or call us at 231-6477 for further information.